It has started. The Vulcans are just destroying me right now. The tanks don't matter. They just get scorched at some point probably. But even without scorch, the Vulcans still can deal with them just fine along with the Stormcrawlers and the fortress, of course. Well, it is officially panic time. I have no idea how I'm going to survive this. I know one thing, I'm not gonna be able to put anything on the ground that will survive what my opponent has. Stormcrawlers and Vulcans will take care of literally everything that anyone could ever put on the ground. That doesn't severely outsupply them, I guess. And there's no way that I can easily outsupply this. I'm throwing some crawlers in the middle in order to have fire thrown that way and kind of burn him. My opponent goes into more AA fortress power. Makes sense. Makes sense. He probably expects me to oil him because he puts up shields, and I don't think there were any combat powers other than this, were there? I might have not looked. Right now I'm trying to take his Stormcrawlers out of the picture. Honestly, in retrospect, I think I shouldn't have done that. They were doing him more harm than me. They were doing him more harm than me, I think. I go for EMP on the sledges in an attempt to maybe shut down the techs on the fortresses. I also go for temp range, temp speed and rapid resupply. It is that kind of game right now. My opponent goes for another fortress. He already rapid resupplied, so he can't afford the temporary buffs. I also go for the mobile beacon. What did I want to do with the mobile beacon? Oh, I wanted to have some phoenixes that fly in the front and distract all of the fortress missiles. Oh no, it was not against the Stormcrawlers, it was against the AA from the forts. And I think it would actually technically work. It would be enough interception power, but I didn't think about the Stormcrawlers. Because the Stormcrawlers also shoot missiles, and that takes effectiveness from the anti-air, from the anti-missile away. Still, you can definitely see things working. The sledges are firing. Some of these fortresses no longer have anti-air missiles. But that is only on my stronger side. My weaker side is still struggling hard. I'm gonna lose a lot of devices. The Vulcan can grill them no matter what as well. But I still have some forces left on the other side. I do get a tower, but there's only these two phoenixes left on this side, and they are kinda getting gunned down. Can I kill that fortress? If that fortress falls, well, no, scratch that. The fort is not gonna fall. At least not yet. I think this is enough air to finish it. I still have some anti-missile. Yeah, okay. Doesn't even matter. It was enough to win that round. Which makes me hopeful ever so slightly that I might just win the last round of this match. Whatever it may be. This round, the next round, the one after. We will see. There is oil. Definitely a respectable combat power. But I've lost a lot of eco in these devices being, well, destroyed. Oil should definitely be handy here. I wish I still had it with the crawler spawn. Then I could, like, throw the crawlers in the middle, throw the oil on top, and just burn his army in the middle. I go for EMP on the Phoenixes. That was way more, or would be way more reliable than EMP on the sledges. My opponent oils me up as well. But I shield, at least. More shields coming down. My opponent takes another one into the wasps. Now his wasps are on par as far as techs are concerned with my wasps. Overall, he has more and more powerful wasps. I have range, extra range on these wasps. But in truth, my wasps are kinda just countered. And countered hard, that is. Alright, he has 100 more to spend. Where's a missile and probably another missile or temp speed? Which are you gonna pick? Another missile, it seems. I'm not sure why he's dropping it on the tower. I don't really see a realistic way of flanking any of this. This oil, I am not sure if anything will even ignite it. Maybe these crawlers will. But you can just see how effective the Vulcan is at killing crawlers. I did rebuild one anti-missile device, honestly. I know, did I? Or was that a leftover? I think I did. But I evacuated my air units to this side. Unfortunately, it is not enough. My opponent's units are simply stronger. There is nothing left to stop this, and a wall of giants is moving in. The Phoenixes are fighting for all they can. but they can't fight everything. Yeah, I threw so many anti-missile devices here, but at the end of the day, the Phoenixes were kinda the way to counter me here. Alright, so what have I learned this time around? First of all, if you want to counter Fortress anti-air, you should probably watch out for there not to be Stormcrawlers to take up all the anti-missile. So I guess if you have enough anti-missile, it becomes a win-win and you take out a large part of your enemy's army effectiveness. 2, don't go for the strat if your opponent also has wasps that can easily beat your air. And 3, I guess, is don't put the oil in the middle if the fire will never even get there. Alright, let's turn this one around and see what I could have done better. I think I can beat this, but it's gonna be a very uphill battle. Well, this is taking an absolute embarrassing amount of tries, and I'm still nowhere near beating it, by the way, other than getting one very lucky attempt where if my Phoenixes had EMP'd both fortresses, I would have won, but they didn't, so I didn't. I have not really any idea how to do this other than try and replicate the win from before, or the almost win from before. That could work in theory, but I don't think much else will. So let me try and kinda double oil this and get something done with it. So basically oil here and oil like here. And then we hope to maybe get melters in on the action. Melters, range. I want them as far back as possible. Maybe I should not have picked temp speed, honestly, if I wanted that. And I can actually get a tower with these units by beaconing them around here. Maybe I don't need to be so aggressive with the flanking. Maybe I can get it like this. I hope that these crawlers still run into the middle of all of these units. Maybe I position the oil a bit differently. Maybe I put it like here. And then extend it to like here. And I guess let us throw a missile. What else can I really do here? So fire lands everywhere. These crawlers unfortunately did not go into the flames, which is a huge, huge problem. Now these wasps won't get through. Okay, that I need to probably fix. Unless the melters just work out insanely well. No, they are still stuck on the wasps. And without me getting some kind of tower debuff, they will not be having enough time to clear the wasps. Actually, the missile does. Oh, maybe I'm onto something now. But the melters still don't have the clear. Well, now there's a tower debuff. Fort falls. If that fort falls, there's not any anti-air left. Ooh. I think I got it. There's only one wasp left. And that wasp is getting phoenixed. I got it. I got it. I got it. Finally. Finally. Who would have thought that missile was so vital? Like the missile that I just randomly threw out because I still had the money that was here actually killed the friggin' wasps that were blocking the shots for the melters. So I guess the combination of fire on the ground, missile basically on the tower, was keeping the chaff out, including the air chaff, and that allowed my melters to actually lock onto in the critical moment as these units here got the tower. By the way, I'm not sure if you were able to see it, but basically what I did, I mobile beaconed a bunch of units, including crawlers. You can still see the crawlers here that are turning in a completely different way, where I was pointing the mobile beacon. Basically, these units were going here. Because he threw a missile on the tower, I had to include some crawlers into the mobile beacon pack so that the crawlers basically in this area would trigger the missile and the wasps and phoenixes would survive and take the tower and still survive afterwards. So there was a lot of insane interactions to beat this army. Because if you try at this point to play anything on the ground really against Vulcans without having the chaff clear, and I was very lucky that I had very much the chaff clear this round, you just plain die. The Vulcans are too effective at chaff clearing and the forts would wipe out everything else. And I don't really have the option of going into something like mass scorpions or something else myself. And I'm also way behind on Vulcan power. Anyway, I'm pretty glad that I was able to still make this work, because that looked like a pretty lost cause, and it definitely was. And going anti-air against or going air against the Vulcans is definitely a plan, but my opponent was respecting it so much that I basically didn't stand a chance outside extremely lucky and very, very contrived scenarios like this one. That's it. Once again, there's always a chance. I just need to get better with beacons, I guess, is one of the lessons. So, thanks everybody for watching and listening, and I hope to see you next time. Until then.